of here. We gotta find a solution. I'm a 20th century man, but I don't wanna die here.
Some landscapes are symbolically charged. Every time I drive by this one area off Wisconsin Highway 41, I think to myself, what a unique collection of American sites. We will begin in the midst of an old cemetery, then walk down this road and under the freeway overpass. On this side of the freeway, we will encounter a Hummer dealership. We will continue down Green Bay Road until we get to a cluster of gas stations and advertisements at this corner. Then we will walk back under the freeway and finally move down to see Calvary Bible Church. You might wonder where in the world we are. We're in Wisconsin, just north of Lake Winnebago, an area referred to as the Fox Valley.
Well, we gotta get out of here. We gotta find a solution.
Let's begin with a look around the cemetery. Some of these graves go back to the 19th century. Here's a certain John W., who died at 20 years, 2 months, and 19 days, an exactly itemized count for his time on earth. The Egyptian motif here caught my attention. What an idea to evoke the winged sun disk up here in Wisconsin. Peering through the iron grill, decorated with sun-loving lotus flowers, we can glimpse a more traditional religious theme. But whatever the religious themes evoked here, the reality of this cemetery is the view of a freeway loud with cars. John W. could not have imagined the constant hum of the modern world. A globe marks the grave for soldiers who have fallen in recent wars. The list of names can't help but push us to consider what we want to preserve about our country. It's a question we need to ask, lest in a century we turn around and ask with disappointment, was it for this? Under the overpass, there is almost a hush. The cars sounded almost quiet above me. If there was a place of meditation on my walk, it was here. The Hummer dealership greeted me on the other side of the freeway. With gas prices sitting as high as they are, the Hummer has become a tough sell. And a few days before this trip, I read some speculation that GM was looking to sell off this potential liability. I saw some evidence of their weakening sales in the form of steep price cuts, seen here on the window sticker. It's always been difficult for me to understand the appeal of a Hummer. I guess it is an imposing military exterior combined with a plush interior, spotlighted here on the Hummer website. Across the street from the Hummer dealer was an odd sight, a digger resting isolated on a small patch of asphalt. In front of it was a pile of asphalt slabs. I could be excused for slipping into a dream about the future.
This is an age of machinery, a mechanical nightmare. The wonderful world of technology, napalm, hydrogen bombs.
What has become of the green pleasant fields of Jerusalem? The only place I see them is on the banks of our freeways. But I kept moving down the street, passing the extensive lots of this GM dealer, which had many vehicles besides Hummers. I walked along the grassy roadside and noted the oil change special. The cars in the dealership beckoned, and off behind them you can see the ever-present freeway, as loud and incessant here as in the cemetery just over on the other side. Now crossing the street, a liquor store offered alcohol to passers-by. The ads on the wall are for those who want to buy beer by the case. You can still see a 4th of July special advertised. Now we've reached a corner. It's an industrial corner of the type that everyone has experienced. It's hardly the place you would bring a visiting relative to show off local culture. But this corner is a key enabler of the brighter cultural spots in our landscape. There's the gas stations, the nearby liquor store, the restaurant. There's a repair service out there, and also a Ryder truck rental spot. You could make a strong argument that this corner is central to who we are as Americans and our lifestyle. The corner is just at the entrance to the small city of Neenah. It's the kind of place we pass without even thinking. The jumble of signs, so striking when seen out of context, are instantly read and understood by drivers. Colorful signs offer refreshments or smokes. I passed the beckoning signs and headed again toward the freeway. The long artificial mound of the freeway ran on ahead. We were blind to the massive earthworks around us and the wholesale reshaping of our landscape. Under the overpass, a strip of light ran silently across the road, a point of meditation in a world of signs. But beyond was just the same old world. Here's the entrance to the cemetery where we began. Passing by the cemetery, this road runs on ahead to a site that has explicit claims on spirituality, Calvary Bible Church. Oddly, it doesn't present its face at the entrance. Its front is oriented toward the cars, with possibly unsaved drivers riding along the freeway. The central building presents a cross inset into the brickwork. It's Sunday afternoon and there aren't any cars here, but thanks to the internet, I can listen in on a typical Sunday sermon.
And then he says, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Think of the lands that were around them. There was the God of this and the God of that and the idol of this and the idol of that. He was calling them to, don't be distracted by all that. Follow the Lord your God. He is one Lord. He is unique. He is different than all these distractions that are around you.
The homepage for Calvary Bible Church is fascinating. It features an old dry dirt road running past an isolated shack and a blossoming tree. It could be straight out of a poem by William Wordsworth. The road may be parched and difficult, but here is rest and nourishment. And in the background are the green pleasant fields of England. And that's the way we like to imagine our churches. Note some other popular representations of churches by the artist Thomas Kinkade. But that does not, in fact, describe Calvary Bible Church. Sitting like a billboard off the very modern freeway, it's not exactly a Wordsworthian scene. Driving through the empty parking lot, I found this representation of the whole United States. Beginning there with our location in Wisconsin, we will sweep around the country. The patches in the asphalt are obvious. It is the perfect surface for a self-portrait. Despite the romantic images, this is our life surface. We are all more likely to be traveling on that road than walking in a green field. And asphalt, we might recall, is a precarious surface. Remember the digger and the pile of slabs.